Welcome to our first block of the month and our block of the month blanket project. This month, I'm going to start you off a little easy to get you in the groove. We're going to be working on this great solid colors square. Lots of open spaces in this that create a little bit of a lace pattern, a little bit of lace texture, but it'll get you in the groove for working in the round, but creating four corners. It'll put you in the square mindset. I'm going to walk you through every step of this pattern. So we'll do that first square together, and then you'll need to make 3 more before we meet back here next month. I am so excited to start this project with you. If you haven't yet, make sure you pick up a kit at onebighappy.com. Let's get started. Welcome to our first block of the month square. I'm so excited to get started on this project with you. I can't wait to take you on this journey of texture and color and finish up with this gorgeous blanket. But we have to start somewhere. So if you've picked up a kit, it will include 5 colors of Barocco Comfort. That's a worsted weight yarn. It's totally washable. So this blanket is perfect for everybody. Anybody who has allergies to animal fibers, folks who have animals or babies and need to be able to wash everything. This is a great fiber to work with. It's a great yarn to work with. It's a 50-50 nylon and acrylic blend. Totally washable. Toss it in the machine, toss it in the dryer. You'll be good to go. So for a hook, you'll need an H8 5mm hook. And I'm using a boy hook. So that has a very tapered throat and a very pointy tip. And I think that's important with this project. It has been for me anyway. The Comfort has a lot of plies, and with a very blunt tip hook, I found that it split the yarn a little bit more, so that it seems counterintuitive, but the pointy tip on this hook actually worked its way through the yarn much easier for me. You will also need some nice scissors. We are definitely going to need stitch markers, and as a crocheter you want locking stitch markers so you can stick them in place and they're not going to move on you. If you just have round stitch markers, you won't be able to use them. A bent tip tapestry needle is always good. You want it a little bit bigger. You want to make sure that that's got a nice big eye, because while this isn't bulky yarn, it's a pretty significant size, so you want to go with a jumbo tapestry needle for this, and that bent tip just makes it so easy to weave in your ends when we get to the end of the project. So those are my ancillary supplies. So let's dive into this first block. We're going to start with a magic ring or a magic loop, not the same as magic loop with knitting, and it's called magic ring or magic loop in crochet, depends on who you talk to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull probably about 18 inches of tail, and I'm going to loop this around 3 fingers once, twice, and then I'm going to tuck that tail. It doesn't matter which fingers you tuck it between. I'm just tucking it there to sort of hold the loops in place. And then I'm going to reach under the 2 loops that I made to grab my working yarn and pull it to the front. Now, don't think that this is a stitch. It's not a stitch, it's just potential. You've just connected your ring and you are ready to begin stitching. And in this square, the first thing we do is chain 8. Once I've done that first chain, I'm actually going to release the loop from my fingers, the loops, and hold it as I normally do when I crochet. So I've chained 1, I'm going to chain 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just straightening out the double loops and the tail. And now I'm going to work 3 double crochets into that magic loop, magic ring that we made. Double crochet, standard double crochet. I'm going to do 3 of those. If you need help with the magic ring, we do have a stitch support video for that. We'll put the link above. I've done 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 5 now. 3, 4, 5. So these groups of 3 double crochets and the chain 5, the double crochets are creating the sides of our square, and the chains are creating the corners. There's 3. I'm going to chain 5. 3, 4, 5. I'm sure part of your brain is thinking, then why did we start with a chain of 8? Because it's actually, that chain of 8 is doing double duty. Part of it is a chain 3, 4, 5 that counts as a double crochet, and the other part of it is a chain 5 that's one of our corners. So after you've done your third chain 5, you're only going to do 2 double crochets. So what we did when we started, that right there is this side of one of our sides, and these 2 double crochets are this part of one of our sides. So now it doesn't look like a square yet, but all of our stitches are there for a square. And what I'm going to do now is take my hook out. Whenever I take my hook out of my work, I put a stitch marker in and I close it so that it can't unravel, no matter what. And I have 2 cats. Trust me, this works. And now I'm going to close this ring. The first thing that I'm going to do is make sure my working yarn is out of the way. I'm going to grab my tail and I'm going to start to pull on it until, and I'm holding all of these stitches because I don't want them to shift around. I'm just pulling the tail until I see which one of these 2 strands from my magic loop or my magic ring starts to get shorter. You see that? That one is getting shorter. Right there. Okay, so now I need to pull on this strand to get rid of this strand. And you do that by only pulling from this side. You don't want to pull from the middle. You don't want to pull from this side. If I pull from the left side, it's actually going to pull on my tail. You see that? If I pull on the left side, it pulls on the tail. I don't want to do that. I want to pull on the right-hand side. And it's okay if you do it in short little steps, but as you pull on the right-hand side, you'll see that other strand from the ring begin to tighten up. And we are going to tighten it all the way up until you don't see it anymore. You're going to tug and give it a good tug. And then you've got a nice tight center. And now you can go back to your tail, pull your tail, and that strand loosens up, tightens up and disappears. Look at that. 4 corners, 4 sides. So now we can put our hook back into our active stitch. Make sure you're not working with your tail. Make sure you're working with your working yarn. And that's a nice long tail. Keep it long. Don't clip it. Leave it long. You'll want that for weaving in later. And now I need to slip stitch to the 3rd chain of this chain 8. And I always work backwards when I do this. When I join around, I always work backwards from the last stitch that I know. And so I know that this here, that was a double crochet, and this is the top of my double crochet right there. So I can count backwards my chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the 5 that I need for that corner. So this is the 3rd of the chain 3. So I'm going to go into the heart of that chain and do a slip stitch to join. See that? It's so pretty. So now I'm going to move on to round 2. I'm going to slip stitch into this chain 5 space. Just like that. Because why do I want to do that? Let me take that out and tell you why I want to do that. Round 2, I'm going to be working stitches into this chain 5 space. But this stitch that's on this loop that's on my hook is a potential for a stitch that sits directly above this chain 3. So I actually need to move my hook and my potential stitch over into that chain 5 space. So we do that with the slip stitch. Now we're ready for the stitches of round 2. So I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to do 2 double crochets. I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pull some yarn. I like loose yarn when I work. I like a lot of slack. And then I'm going to do 3 more double crochets back into that same chain 5 corner space. So in round 2, we're essentially mirroring what happened in round 1. Let me take my hook out so you can see it. So I hold it this way for you. So that's 2 sides and a corner. We've mirrored that. See that? So pretty. So pretty. Now I'm going to do the same thing in this chain 5 space over here in this corner, but I have to bridge the gap across to there. So I'm going to chain 3 and then 3 double crochets, chain 5, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. There's that second side and corner made. I'll chain 3 to bridge across to the other corner, and you'll repeat the same process in each of these corners. So I finished my 4th corner, and now I need to bridge the gap, 2, 3 with a chain 3, and then I'm going to single crochet to the top of that chain 2 that we made to close it. So again, I'm going to count backwards. I know this is a double crochet, and that's the top of that stitch. This is a double crochet, and that's the top of that stitch. So the next stitch back will be the top of that first chain 2 that I did. I go into the heart of that chain stitch, yarn over, and pull through everything to join. And that's round 2. So pretty. Doesn't look like much yet, but we're about to get into some more interesting spacing with round 3. Okay, so to start round 3, we are perfectly placed to chain 2. This counts as a double crochet. So see how that sits right above that chain that we started the last round with. Then we're going to do 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. And this one is always tricky, so let me get in a little bit closer for you. When there's a chain that you've done a slip stitch into right next to the next stitch, it almost looks like you should go over to here for your next stitch, but it's actually right here. This right here is the top of this double crochet. It almost looks like your slip stitches in there. See that? It's fooling you. This chain corresponds to this chain here, and so our next stitch needs to go under these 2 strands at the top of this stitch. Sometimes it can be hard to get into that space, so don't forget that your hook is actually a hook. You can turn it over and use it to hook the front half and then push your way through the back. And then you can complete your double crochet. See that? Then we're going to do 1 more double crochet here. Oh, I split my yarn, so I'm just going to take that stitch out and do it again. There we go. Now I'm going to mirror my corner again. I'm going to do the same thing that I did in round 2. I'm going to do 3 double crochets, a chain 5, and then 3 more double crochets in that same chain 5 space. This should start to feel familiar. 3, 4, 5, 3 more double crochets, 3, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of these stitches. Now remember, when you're working in the round, the top of the stitch actually sits just slightly to the right of the body of the stitch. So it's possible that you'll be looking at this and thinking 1, 2, 3. But you can pull these stitches that you just did back a little bit, and you can see that is where you work the stitch that corresponds to this one. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do a single crochet into this chain 3 space. See that? Then we're going to chain 3 to get back up out of there. Then we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1 into each of the double crochets from round 2. 3 double crochets, chain 5, 3 double crochets in the corner, 3 more double crochets on the other side. Let me show you that. There's 1, 2, 3, each stacked on the double crochets from round 2. Then we're going to do 3, chain 5, 3 more double crochets in this chain 5 corner space. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more in that same space. Again, I'm just going to pull some yarn. I like a lot of slack in my working yarn. I don't want it to fight back. Nice and easy. And then 3 double crochets, 1 in each of those double crochets from the corner of round 2. And then here's that fun little bit again. We're going to chain 3, single crochet in that chain 3 space, chain 3 more, and then we're ready to start another corner. So you're going to do that twice more and meet me back at the end of this round. Okay, I'm almost at the end of round 3. Again, that fun little bit where we chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, and then we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 2 that we started the round with. Again, how do we find it? We find a stitch that we know, count backwards, that's the top of that last double crochet that we know, so then we know this right here is the chain at the top of that chain 2 that we started with. You just work your way through the heart of it. Again, this is part of why I like that pointy hook for this project. Slip stitch together, and that is round 3. Now I'm going to put it down here and show it to you because it sort of looks like a butterfly at this point. It seems like there's too many stitches, but there isn't. Once we get round 4 worked in here, this is all going to start to lie flat. So don't worry if your work is a little bit ripply. Okay, we're ready for round 4. And this one starts a little funky. We actually need to move over to this stitch here. So what we're going to do is slip stitch into the top of the next 2 stitches. So we're going to go into the top of the next double crochet. We're going to do a slip stitch. The next double crochet, we're going to do a slip stitch. Sorry, we're going to do that 3 times. And the next double crochet. So you're doing 3 slip stitches across from where you joined the round. So you joined right there and then you did 3 slip stitches. That's because we want our next double crochet to sit right on top of this double crochet here. So now we're going to chain 2. We'll do 1 double crochet in each of these stitches. And then our corner that we're getting so familiar with, the 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. You should be grooving right through that corner now. It should be very familiar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, don't worry if you don't crochet as fast as me. I've been doing this a long time and I do it a lot. A lot. I crochet a couple hours a day. Sorry, I finished that corner while we were chatting. So now I'm going to do 3 double crochets into the first 3 double crochets of this group of 6 that we did in round 3. So that's the first one I did. Then a second one. Then a third one. Yep. And now I'm going to chain 3. And then when we did this little bit in round 3, we created 2 chain 3 spaces. So now we're going to, again, mirror what we did in round 3. We're going to do a single crochet in that first chain 3 space. We're going to chain 3. We're going to do a single crochet in that second chain 3 space. We're going to chain 3. And then we're going to skip the first 3 double crochets here and do a double crochet in that 4th one. and then in the next 2 as well, so that we have 3 double crochets here. And then our corner, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of these first 3 along this side, and then we're going to repeat that fun bit with the single crochets and the chain 3s. All right, there's those 3. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, chain 3, single crochet in that chain 3 space, chain 3, single crochet in that next chain 3 space, chain 3, and then you're ready to start this corner work again on this side. So go ahead and do the next 2 corners and meet me back where we join this round together. So I'm almost at the end here. I've done that second single crochet between the chain 3s. I'm going to chain my last 3, and then I'm going to join to that first chain 2. So again, I look for, there's that last double crochet that I did. There's the top of it. So then I know this is the top of that chain that I started with, right into the heart of that chain stitch for a slip stitch. That's round 4. We're ready to start round 5. And round 5 is our second to last round. There's only 6 rounds in this square. So we're going to start with a chain 2. Again, that should feel pretty familiar at this point. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next stitches. Again, remember, this double crochet right here almost looks like the top of it is over here, but that belongs to this double crochet. So we've got to get under the top of that double crochet, just like that. There we go. Now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip these 3 double crochets and then do our standard corner in this corner here. 3 double crochets, 2, 3, chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull in some more slack, 3 more double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Oh, all right, I split my yarn there. See that? See those extra strands? It's okay. I just tuck my line under there. Then I can finish the stitch. Then I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to skip 3 double crochets and then do 1 double crochet in each of the 3 remaining. So there's 1. 2, 3. Then we've got these lovely chain 3 spaces laid out ahead of us. What we're going to do is 2 double crochets into this first chain 3 space, chain 1, 2 double crochets into the next chain 3 space, chain 1, 2 double crochets into that last chain 3 space. See that? And then 1 double crochet into each of these first 3 double crochets along this side. So there's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, skip the remaining 3 on this side, and go back in to do another corner with 3 double crochets, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 double crochets, we're going to chain 2, we're going to skip 3, and we're going to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 double crochets, and we're back to those 3 chain 3 spaces. So 2 double crochets in that first one. My yarn split, but I got it. Chain 1, 2 double crochets in the next chain 3 space. Chain 1, 2 double crochets in that next. And then we're back to where we're going to work a corner. So we'll do 3 double crochets, 1 in each of these 3, chain 2, then work your 3 double crochet, chain 5, 3 double crochet corner. Keep going around, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. So I'm almost here at the end of round 5. I'm going to do 2 double crochets into that last chain 3 space. And then I am ready to join to that first chain 2 that we did. There's our double crochet. So here's the top of our chain. Woo, we're almost there. One more round to go. Round 6 is all single crochets. What we're doing is just giving a nice firm solid edge to this square. So it's fairly simple. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to single crochet back into that same chain stitch that you did your slip stitch to. And again, this is where it gets a little tricky to find that next double crochet. So here's the body of that double crochet. The top of it is right here. And it looks like, if you look real quick, it looks like that first single crochet that we made is already in that stitch, but it isn't. Trust me. And again, you can use your hook to pick up the front leg and then push your way through the second leg at the top of that stitch. So there. And then 1 single crochet into that double. So you're going to do a single crochet into every double crochet stitch around. And in your chain spaces, you want 1 single crochet for every chain that you made. So this is a chain 2 space. I'm going to do 2 single crochets. Then I've got 3 double crochets here. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of them. And then for our corner, we're going to do something a little bit different. So there's 5 chain stitches here. And we need to do 1 single crochet for each chain stitch. But in order to get around a corner, you usually need to add 2 additional single crochet stitches. So what we're actually going to do is 7 single crochets into this chain 5 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. That 5 looks like it filled up that whole chain space, right? I'll show you a little trick. The chain that we went over inside is almost like a drawstring. So if you hold on to the body of this last single crochet that you did, and you grab the top of the next double crochet and pull, your chain comes out. That snugs these 5 up a little bit and gives you a little more space to add those last 2 single crochets into that corner. And then again, remember, when you come into this group of double crochets, that the top of that double crochet is just slightly to the right and not over here. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's a chain 2, so we're going to do 2 single crochets into that space, single crochet our way across these 5 double crochets, 4, 5. Remember, we had a chain 1 there, so it's a single crochet, then a single crochet into these 2 doubles, chain 1 space, single crochet your way across. And remember, when you get to this corner, you're going to do 7 single crochets into that chain 5 corner. Work your way around and meet me at the end of this round. I'm almost at the end of round 6. We're almost at the end of this square. That's my last single crochet there. And now I'm going to join this a little different. So instead of slip stitching into a chain, we're actually going to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet that we made. And again, it can be a little fiddly. Wiggle your way through, do your slip stitch, and then you can cut your yarn. yarn over and pull through that loop. That secures it. That's our square. One square, one done. Look at that. Isn't it lovely? I love it. But you're not quite done yet. You do need to block your squares. This fantastic blocking board from Lori Holt is in your kits. So I want to talk you through mist blocking on this one. You could steam block. That's where you pin your block out first and you hit it with a steamer, or you could wet block, where you soak your block in a little bit of wool wash. I tuck my pins into the top of my blocking board, so I'm just taking them out here so I can get to them a little bit easier. I love this foam blocking board. It's fantastic for this project, not only because it has this glorious measured grid on it, and it's perfect for doing just 1 or 2 blocks at a time. Let me finish getting these pins out here. I store them here because my daughters historically steal my sewing pins and blocking pins. So I just keep them in the board and they never know they're there. But the other side of this also has a circle grid. So if you're doing circle motifs, this is a great way to block it out too. Let me come back over here. I'm going to show you mist blocking for this one because it's wet blocking for me is always like multi-project. I mean, you could make all the squares for this project and then wet block them all at once, but I kind of like mist blocking them one at a time. It's a tiny sense of accomplishment as we move along. So what I'm going to do first is flip it over to the wrong side of the work, and then handy dandy misting bottle. I'm going to mist the back side of the work because the whole point of blocking your piece is to reset the memory of your fiber. And if you pin your block out first and then mist it, you're not really getting the back side of your work. And if you mist it hard enough and get it wet enough that it's wet on the back by misting it on the front, you might as well just do a wet block. You might as well just soak it in a bowl with Eucalan and call it a day. All right, so now I'm going to block this out. I'm going to find the center of my corner there. Center of my corner there. Your tails don't really matter here. And you just want to make sure that you're following the grid lines for where your other pins are. And then I usually zhuzh it out a little bit and put 2 pins on each side. And that should be enough to hold it. Actually, I think I've got this pinned out a little too far, so I'm going to come back a 1/2 inch on these corners and a 1/2 inch on that corner, and then we should be good. So you don't want to really super stretch this so that it looks like there's a lot of tension. You just want enough so that you're teaching your square, this is your new shape. Because right now your yarn thinks this is its shape. Long loopy loops that have been sitting like this since your yarn was manufactured, since your yarn was spun. And so that's what your yarn thinks it is right now. And you've just crammed it into all these little stitch shapes. And those stitch shapes create a fabric that is square. And then I go back through and I see how it feels like this is a tension point. If I sort of pull in both directions, the fiber's starting to relax because we have wetted the back of it. Now I'm going to mist the front. I love these misting bottles. They're great. And again, I'm just going to zhuzh it a little bit to help release what looks like tension points. I'm just going to let it dry. That's it. This square is done. you have done it too if you followed along with me. So that's square one of our block of the month blanket. You'll need to make 3 more of these because you'll need 4 to work them into your blanket. I hope that you've had fun on this one, exploring how putting some chain spaces in can help create this really pretty lace pattern. And I look forward to seeing you next month when we tackle block 2. Happy crocheting!